Well, the retired members of the board were asked to tell the rest of the board, the current board, a little bit about what they were thinking since they had left the board. And I told the board that what first attracted me to the Nebraska Community Foundation was what an outstanding vehicle to be able to give back to the towns that were so good to me. I have banks in 3 little towns in western Nebraska, and I'm a third-generation banker. So those communities have been good to the Thumans for 3 generations. And I wanted to do something for them. So when the Nebraska Community Foundation contacted me, that was the perfect vehicle to improve the communities where I worked and lived. Well, that was 12 years ago, and now that I'm retired from the board and I live in Lincoln, I've taken a broader view and looked at the improvement of the state as opposed to just the communities where I lived and worked. And my love for Nebraska was driven home by the event of my father's death this year. He had lived in North County, San Diego for 33 years, been retired there, and we'd been visiting my parents there for 33 years. Lived on a golf course in a lake and perfect weather and absolutely beautiful surroundings, and I must have unconsciously always believed that I would go there and retire, too. Well, after he died, I had to make a decision about what to do with the house because I'm not quite ready for retirement. And in my travels to settle his estate and to handle issues there, I stayed at several different locations around San Marcos, and I realized that Southern California, that whole county of San Diego, which is enormous, there aren't any real communities there. If I lived there, I would never be able to be on the city council. I'd never be on the school board like I was for years in Maywood. I wouldn't have any influence on the community. My letters to the editor would go unnoticed. There wouldn't be any opportunity for philanthropic giving because unless you were at the $100 million mark, it disappeared. And you didn't get to say where it went, and you didn't get to see the results of your charity. And the really clinching thing was that I knew the governor would never invite me to tailgate with him. So it really made me focus on how I felt about the state of Nebraska and where I wanted to spend the rest of my time on this earth. And when I weighed beautiful weather against a sense of community, influence, knowledge of the people, connections, and communications in Nebraska, it was a no-brainer. I sold that house and I'm staying here.
That's pretty good.
Well, I had a little trouble with philanthropic, but
Almost makes me tear up.
well, I think a lot of people feel the same way about our state, but they haven't ever verbalized it, or that there hasn't been an event that has made them realize really how much Nebraska means to them. And I really feel that the Nebraska Community Foundation's endowment campaign is a great way to give to the whole state and have some influence over the whole state, because we really are a single community. We're a small population, and we know each other. I was thinking the other day, I wouldn't be surprised if many, many people in the state of Nebraska know someone from every county. The Nebraska Community Foundation has given me a fabulous opportunity to get to know people from across the state and also see places in the state. I'm sure I would never have gone to the monastery at Schuyler. I probably wouldn't have gone to Ponca State Park, as beautiful as it is, because it couldn't be farther away from Maywood, diametric across the state. I would have never gone to the Goodmanson Experimental Farm north of Whitman, You know, there's a lot about Nebraska that is appealing and that people should think about and want to protect. So I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to do everything that I can to improve the state.